Good morning, students. Let's continue with the topic of transportation in plants. We know that the plants make use of certain raw materials for preparing their food and releasing energy in the form of ATP molecules, that is adenosine triphosphate. They make use of certain simple compounds like carbon dioxide, and by the process of photosynthesis in the presence of light and chlorophyll, which is a green pigment present in the chloroplast, especially the grana of the chloroplast. Okay, and convert them into a particular product called carbohydrates, especially the glucose, which is a monosaccharide. Okay, with the release of oxygen and water. Whatever food is synthesized in the plant need to be transported to different regions in the plants or in the plant body. The plant make use of certain raw materials which is made available to them from the soil with the help of certain organs which are in direct contact with the soil. That is nothing but the root. The roots absorb water as well as certain minerals which are the essential nutrients and transport these minerals and water to different parts of the plant body so that the nourishment of the plant is guarded in a proper way. Okay. Now, if I am expected to name the 6 essential nutrients which are being required or taken up by the plants with the help of the roots, they are the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, magnesium and calcium. These are the nutrients which are taken up by the plants with the help of their roots from the soil and transported to different regions in the plants. Now, as far as the plants are concerned, here I have taken 2 examples. The very first example where you cannot see the leaves is an example of a jade plant, and the second example is of a bamboo plant. Now, as I said, the absorption of certain raw materials takes place with the help of roots, and if the distance between the soil, root and the leaves, here you can see the distance between soil, root and the leaves is not that higher. Okay, so if the distance between the soil, the root and the chlorophyll containing organ, that is the leaf, is much lesser, the transport system or transport of raw materials becomes much easier by the process of diffusion. But as you can see, here is an example of a tall tree, that is Ashoka. Here I am taking example of Ashoka as well as Azadirachta indica, that is neem. Okay, and what is Ashoka called? Saraka Asoka. Okay, so here I have taken 2 examples of tall trees. Okay, now as far as tall trees, or if I am expected to name certain other tall trees, coconut, gulmohar, casuarina, okay, etc. So the distance between the soil, root and the leaf is much higher. So it becomes very difficult for transportation of raw materials. Okay, and as the plants contain dead cell, they can tolerate a very slow transport mechanism. Okay, so in order to transport the entire raw material as well as the water from the root to different parts of the plant, as well as to transport the food which is synthesized on the leaves of the plant to different regions of that particular plant body, in order to maintain the entire plant body or to nourish the entire plant for the release of certain gases which is required by the entire higher organism group. Certain conducting system or certain transport system is required, and this transport system forms a conducting channel and a transporting channel. Together we call them as vascular bundles. And these conducting tissues are nothing but the xylem tissue and the phloem tissue. The xylem tissue help in the transport of water from the root in an upward direction and then transported to each and every part of the plant. whereas the phloem tissues help in transport of the food which is synthesized on the leaves to all the parts of the plant in both the directions, from the leaves towards the lower direction towards the roots, as well as in the apex or towards the apical direction. In the next session, we will see in detail about the structure and function of xylem and phloem. Thank you.